Hello everybody and welcome to another one of those videos where I talk about updates in the Steam version of Dwarf Fortress coming from Toady1 and Kitfox. This is going to be a big one. We've got Wagons, we got Wagon UI, trade depots, and that sort of stuff, so stick around, it's going to be a good one. So the very first screenshot we have here is a vanilla trading depot. So when you just download the game, this is what trade depots look like. This was attached as part of the newsletter that Kitfox just sent out, and so that's what your traditional one looks like. Now if we jump over to the new one, this is our new trade depot. Now, trade depots are a very important piece of the game, and currently the way they look is it's just kind of a mess of all of the items that are piled up on them. And the game constantly flashes and jumps between all the items, so you can kind of get an idea on what's there, like if there's a lot of tables or a lot of barrels or a lot of something specific, you can kind of like get a pretty good idea of what is just sitting on your trade depot. But now we have these lovely little tables. So we have like the buy section and the sell section. So you're going to get a pretty good idea of what they're unloading onto the trade depot and what you are loading onto the trade depot. In this instance, it looks like they're selling turtles and purchasing some mushrooms, some fish, some bags of stuff, some cheese, and a few other bits and pieces. Also, I love the way the livestock looks. They look adorable. And also the fact that the wagon kind of parks next to it is also very interesting to me, because currently the way the wagons work is they'll like pull right on top of it and then unload. But here in the screenshot, it actually looks like it's parking next to it and then unloading into it instead of just simply turning the whole depot into the trading area. I think that this actually looks really, really nice. And I'm very, very curious to see this thing in motion. I'm curious if there's any flicker or anything. Now, the next screenshot we have here is a little zoomed out, and we have, once again, that wonderful mini-map that I don't talk about often enough in the upper right. Just look at that. It's beautiful. Of course, you know, just as a brief overview of the UI, which I probably should do more of, you know, we've got the actual date up there by the moon, which is going to indicate when where creatures can attack. We've got the general food stocks and supplies and everybody's moods over there on the top left, idlers and total population on the top left, build menus and whatnot down in the bottom left. But in important news, we have our wagons. Now, when you start a new game of Dwarf Fortress, you will start off with a wagon, but these are also what friends from the mountain homes will bring to trade with you. They will bring these wagons. It's one of the few multi-tile creatures in the game that can actually move. I say creatures because wagons are listed as a creature, and when you kill them, they are listed in the dead screen as missing. By kill them, I mean deconstruct them. Of course, one of the funny little quirks of Dwarf Fortress. Anyway, wagons are very, very important to the gameplay of Dwarf Fortress, and there's a lot of trading that goes on. So this is really neat to see. I like the clarity of being able to tell what's on them, especially like seeing those giant cages kind of in the middle. The barrel, I'm assuming there's, you know, a lot of barrels, but it's just like kind of a stack of barrels. So there's a lot more than what you actually see on this image, but I love kind of how they're actually giving us like a little brief overview of what is in every wagon. Also, I need to talk about this a little bit since we're looking at this beautiful screenshot here. Look at all of the lush forest in the background. There's so much there. This is actually giving us a pretty good idea of what it's going to look like to play the game. Something that I've been a little bit worried about is how everything is going to look with the backgrounds and whether or not it's going to be easy to quickly decipher dwarves from everything else. And this screenshot gives me hope because like everything is pretty clear. I'm curious just what you guys think of this whole screenshot in general. This is the one that I think I'm the most curious about asking for comments on. Do you guys think it looks cluttered? Do you guys think it's easy to kind of differentiate the dwarves and everything? Do you think that you could quickly pick out what's what just at a glance while things are moving? I'm curious to know, because I know for me, this is going to be a little bit difficult, but I'm also in kind of a unique situation, so I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Now, this next one is a screenshot of the actual trade UI itself. So, or rather, not trade UI, but part of the trade UI. So this is when you're bringing stuff to the depot. So before you can actually trade with somebody, you have to request items be brought to the trade depot. So this is that menu. So you're looking through your whole inventory and deciding what do you want to bring. Now they've decided they want to bring a couple of finished goods bins filled with various crowns and scepters. It says the total value as well as the total value of the contents of the last one, which has been opened up. up. They all have 55, 64, and 15 items in them, and they are listed under the bins section. I also really, something we haven't really seen much of that I would like to highlight is we're seeing a couple of figurines on this menu. I really would like to see more figurines, actually. Like, maybe if Meth could go onto Reddit and post a bunch of figurines, I think that'd be really cool. I want to know how much variation is between the figurines, because they're about as varied as statues, which we've already seen in a previous video, and I would really like to see more of these figurines, and I want to see what kind of variety they have. But anyway, that aside, I think that this is very clear. I cannot describe how excited I am for the search function. Like, we do currently have a search function in this screen, but this looks a lot cleaner than the current search function. Like, the search function currently works, but it's a little messy, and it doesn't work for some things. This looks a lot cleaner, and I'm very excited to get my hands on this. Now, the final image we have here is a little shot of adventure mode, and this applies to adventure mode because in adventure mode you can have pack animals. So this is a little pack donkey being led behind our adventurer here, and they are wandering through a settlement or town. This could either be a hillocks or like a human town. It's a little hard to tell, but it's a little shot of adventure mode, which we haven't seen much of. I'm still very much eagerly awaiting the adventure mode UI, but I do like the way this little pack donkey looks. It's kind of adorable. I'll bet you could also ride the donkey, and it would probably still show the backpacks. I do really hope that we get to see adventure mode soon. Adventure mode is one of the big question marks that we've seen almost nothing of going into the Steam version of Dwarf Fortress, alongside of the Legends, which we haven't seen anything of. We've seen the occasional screenshot sort of like this one, but that's about it. So it's one of the big question marks that we're still waiting to hear from with Tarn. But I think that this little pack donkey looks brilliant, and I want to give him a pet on the head because he looks adorable. But anyway, as always, what do you think of these screenshots? This is a bit of a long one. I know some of you guys like the longer videos, but what do you think of these screenshots? What do you think of these what do you think of this update? And I'd be very curious to hear your thoughts down in the comment section. And that's pretty much it for me for today. I'll be back with another video about the Steam version of Dwarf Fortress in the future. If you want to support this channel, I have a Patreon, and if you would like to support the game and give Toady1 money, Bay12 Games has a Patreon, patreon.com/Bay12Games. And if you would like to hear more of my voice, I stream 5 days a week over at twitch.tv/BLINDIRL. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.